That is perfect. Look at that. They can't even get close to me. The zombie force field is working perfectly. G'day, guys. My name's Josh. Yo, can call me Woodle, and welcome back once again to 7 Days to Die Alpha 17, where we have returned once again to Woodle Park because there is an idea in my head that I want to build that I tried to build last time and immediately got distracted by building the Arrow Slot Zombie Force Field base. If you haven't seen that one, please go watch yesterday's video or whenever it came out so you can see how I got to this point. But I had an idea in my head, and through testing and trialing to try and make that idea, I stumbled across this one, which is absolutely freaking awesome. But now I still have that idea in my head and I want to build it. So kind of building off this one, I want to know if I can use arrow slots just like that to make myself a moat around my base to protect myself from any sort of zombie incursion. Now, through the testing that we did for this base, we know that you can't have any supports underneath. If you put pillars down here, it ruins the zombie AI. Well, it doesn't ruin it. It makes the zombies actually act like zombies, and they'll try and break shit down to get to you. But if you have nothing down here, then they don't know what to do, and they kind of just freak out up the top. So kind of building off that, can we make ourselves a foolproof, zombie-proof moat that we don't have to worry about, so we can just slaughter the zombies as they come with no worries to our health or our base's health or anything like that? We can just live in peace in the zombie apocalypse. So I guess I'm going to build it out here somewhere in some relatively flat ground. Somewhere out here will do. Let's get building. Let's get testing. Let's see what we can come up with. The main thing that I'm concerned about with this is that I can't have any support pillars to support the base underneath. So even if you try to make your base in the middle there, it can't be very big because your structural integrity is going to wear out rather quickly unless you build it pretty smartly. So I've got myself a nice big flat area here, but I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to go in maybe about to there, and I'm going to, this is where I'm going to start actually building my base. Let's get rid of you guys for now, because I don't need you on me right now. So this is going to be the first corner of my little ramp up. I'm going to copy that design a little bit because it worked so well, and build all the way down here and make myself a nice little square, because I can have the moat and then the base in the middle, and hopefully still have enough structural integrity to build up and make an actual base without everything collapsing around me. And now also, once we have that, we also have to make it so that we can actually fight off the zombies. The one thing I am kind of concerned about is if the zombies are on the other side of your base while you're fighting on one side, like they're trying to get through the moat on the other side. I mean, maybe if you leave them out there long enough, they might start digging down. They haven't yet on the force field base, but we won't know until we try. So I'm gonna build all the way down here. I want to go 3 in from the corner, which should be right about there. No, there, I think. Is that the corner? God, it's hard to see when the ground's so flat. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and into there. All right, perfect. I'm gonna make your foundations first, then build up from there. So because structural integrity is going to be so important to me here, I was going through the different kind of blocks, and I actually discovered something I haven't noticed before, and that's that an iron block has the same structural integrity as a steel block. I'm looking at the horizontal support here, so how much weight it can support horizontally. So it's got a massive 20 and a horizontal support of 30, so it can hold 15 of itself. But then if you go to steel block, it weighs the same and has the same horizontal support. So weirdly, a steel block and an iron block for like building purposes are basically exactly the same, and that's so much cheaper to make iron blocks as well. And then if you even go down to like reinforced concrete and concrete, they're exactly the same, and it's only 10 and 120. So a concrete block can only handle 12 of itself, whereas a steel and iron block can handle 15 of itself. So I'm going to build the support around the outside out of just iron because it's nice and cheap. You can get it relatively early game, but also because it's going to support more of itself than concrete will. So I'm going to build most of this out of just iron, and then like down the track, if you want to replace it with steel, then you can do that too. The only issue is going to be the intermediary periods. If you're going from iron, so you have to go then to concrete, and then from concrete up to steel. So that like middle bit there, when blocks are made out of concrete, is going to be the weakest point, which seems kind of dumb, but whatever. 7 days logic is 7 days logic. It does what it wants, and it doesn't expect you to understand how it thinks or wants or anything like that. So we're going to build all around the outside. That was a shit placement, just with iron blocks like that. We'll paint them later to get rid of that god-awful texture. It's okay, but for now, it's all about just building. So something I just kind of realized, I've dug this trench to be 4 blocks deep, but I never actually tested it on the arrow slot force field base over here with a 4 block deep hole underneath. So I've gone in and I've dug it out 1 more, so it is now a full 4 blocks deep underneath. There you go. You can see it 4 blocks like that. So I want to see if that affects their pathing at all, because I know if I go less than 3 blocks, it'll only be 2 blocks deep and they can kind of reach up and break shit. So I'm not going to bother testing that. That doesn't seem like a good idea inside my brain. No, I mean, well, the things that does seem like a good idea inside my brain often aren't good ideas anyway. We'll get a bunch of cheerleaders out there. If you could all come in and just see if this works the same as it did before. You guys need to split up a little bit, okay? You just... Fine. Alright, if you're going to stand on top of each other, you're not going to make very good test subjects. Let's get 1, and 2, 3, and 4. There we go. You're all kind of separated a little bit. That's better. There we go. That's looking much, much better. So they still act exactly the same. They're running around in circles, not doing much damage at all. That is fine. So let's kill you and do it twice to get rid of your bodies so we're all nice and clean. Okay, so 4 blocks deep works a treat. Now, normally, I would build this out of wooden arrow slots over here, which is kind of what I've done all the times previously, but I think I might just skip straight across to regular iron arrow slits. I don't need reinforced ones. I don't think they're probably going to have the same kind of characteristics as these ones anyway. Plus, I'm trying to build this as cheap as possible to make it a more viable option in survival. I mean, look, you can build anything you want when you get to, like, day 300 or whatever. When you've got the whole world working for you and infinite resources, you can build whatever you damn well please and have a great time doing it. But for kind of early game, when the hordes are like their most threatening, you want to be able to build something good and easy on the relative cheap side. So just regular iron for now, just because it's not that expensive. I'm just building this 3 deep around each of the sides because I'm very conscious about how far into the middle I'm building. I want to actually have some space in the middle to make a room of some kind to make an actual base out of. Maybe not like a 2-story base or anything like that, but just something to live in and be comfortable. So I'm thinking 3 might be the sweet spot. Oops, I was in the wrong spot. I'm also thinking that because over here, you've got like 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3 is about there. So it's basically, I mean, it's pretty close to what it is here, but I'm not sure if I have to build the entire floor out of arrow slots or if I can build something different, like some actual blocks in the center and maybe make it work just as well. But I don't know. That's something we'll have to test out a little bit later. We'll start with just 3 and we'll work our way up from there. Even though it doesn't matter at all because hopefully nothing will be down here to see it anyway, I'm using iron half blocks because they're the same profile as the arrow slots. The slots don't take up a whole block, so I'm not going to make the center take up a whole block because that would look silly. And we all know that aesthetics are the most important part of the zombie apocalypse. If you can't build something that looks nice, you shouldn't be building. Just run away and dig yourself a little hole. Go live your life at the bottom of a cave. Don't build something big and visible if you can't make it nice for those eyes to see. Alright, there we go. That looks a bit better. Everything so far is kind of standing up to scrutiny, but I want to see if I go in here and go show stability, how are we looking? Interesting. So you can see, as it, I mean, the lighter the green, the less stable it is, which is interesting given that, like, you know, all the way out here is completely light green. That's the, like, the maximum. Anything more than that, and it will collapse. So it slowly gets just like a nice cheesecake, a little bit lighter as it gets to the middle. The gradient is kind of nice, but it looks like I might actually have a shot at building some kind of hut or something in the middle here for me to live in without breaking the bank too much. But what I'm kind of thinking, given that I'm building everything here out of things that weigh 20, maybe if I build it out of wood, you only weigh 5. So that's going to put less strain on the supports on the bottom here if I build it out of wood instead of iron. Plus, it's going to be in the middle, so I shouldn't have to worry about... I'm going to turn that green shit off because I can actually see things again. I shouldn't have to worry about the actual, like, structural integrity, the durability of the building in the middle, because no zombie should be making it that far in anyway. The next question is going to be, do I want to build it right up against the edge? Yeah, I think so. Why not? Let's build all the way around here, make ourselves a nice little room to live in. Let's get our base going. Before I actually finish building that room in the center, I'm going to put myself right in the middle of it, and I'm going to get out of my body and spawn in a couple of Chelseas just to make sure that this works. I want to build this whole thing and then discover later on that it actually doesn't work at all and I've wasted all my time. So let's go out to like this side and go out there and go, Chelsea, if you're pleased, would you come and test this shit for me? Get your attention up in the sky. There we go. Okay. You gotta... Yep, there we go. Got their attention. They're coming in. A wave of Chelseas. A bunch of cheerleaders are running straight towards me. And unlike all of my dreams, it's not quite as sexy as I thought it would be. But they're cruising around the outside and they're doing the same thing. They're not swinging. They're not having any issues. They're not getting across the arrow slots. That is perfect. Look at that. They can't even get close to me. The zombie force field is working perfectly. So far, so good. So let's keep on building the room in the center. I'm going to build these little supports on the outside. Then I'm going to turn that green structural integrity map on, or the stability map rather, so I can see if we're getting close to everything falling apart. No, it's all a pretty solid shade of green. That looks good. So we're going to go up a little bit more. It is, I mean, look, it's kind of hard to build in this mode because you can't see what you're actually doing because it all looks the same. But that's okay. We will manage. We have to go up one more, then all the way across like this. Look, it's starting to get there we go. It was starting to get a bit green, but we're connected to the other side. Oh! Okay. Oh, wait. Wait, hang on. Did I just break something? What did I do? What did I do? Turn off this shit. Oh, wait. I've been building it. Why am I building out of iron? No, damn it, Josh. That's the problem. You have that stupid green shit on. You can't see what blocks you're using. It's starting to show some signs of weakness. It's starting to look a little bit like a Viennetta ice cream. It's starting to have a couple of different layers. And unlike our Lord and Savior Shrek the Ogre, in this case, layers aren't necessarily a good thing. So I'm not sure. I mean, the thing I'm kind of holding out hope for is the fact that, like, the pylons here all look the same as they do on the ground. So, structural integrity-wise for there, it should hopefully get to the center without collapsing. It should look kind of how it does in the middle there, like coming to a fine point right in the middle. But hopefully I can make it out there without too much dramas. Oh, I'm getting nervous. Is that the middle? No, it needs to go one more. I don't know. This could go really badly, or this could go really well. Either way, my butthole is clenched with the force of 1,000 suns right now. Just can't get out there. Get out all the way to the middle. Oh, it's gonna do it. It's gonna be cozy. It's gonna be snug. This is gonna be comfier than a koala bear in a gum tree. But it's gonna be okay. We're gonna do it. It really is within an inch of its life, isn't it? So I think if I put a couple of these bad boys in on the windows, I have to have massive windows here. Don't really have the structural integrity to play with to do that. Just all the way around outside, make sure it's all symmetrical. Symmetricality, just like aesthetics, is always super important. That looks fine to me. And that should make it so it's a little bit more secure up the top. Still not great, but I should be able to walk along the top here without collapsing everything. Yep, good. The added weight of a me doesn't break the whole ceiling. All right, we're good. We're okay. Whew, okay. Well, that's a good first start. What am I going to do about a door, though? Where am I going to put the doors? In fact, I think I'm thinking as well, like I was talking about before, if a zombie's on the other side, I need to get across there quickly to punch its head in with my sledgehammer. Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe I should make a pedestal and go all the way up the top. No, that's asking too much of it. If I do that, then it's definitely going to collapse. I'm risking it for the biscuit, and I'm trying to make the roof an actual walkable height, because like a 2-block gap, sure, you can stand in here, but it's not comfortable. You know, you're banging your head on all the rafters, you're just not having a very good time. So instead, I'm going to build up another level. Let's go through to there. I can't see anything in there, so show stability off, and go across to there. Get rid of all of that for me, please. Lovely. Okay, so if I build that up one more level, hopefully this will work out for me. I'm kind of tempted as well. Maybe, like, how much weight does a wood sheet have? Wood sheet, you've still got 5. So you're not any lighter than a normal one. That's kind of annoying, because I was really hoping it'd be much easier to place down. What about, what's the other one? Not plank. What am I trying to say? What's the other kind, like the thicker version of a sheet? It was plate. Okay, I got it. That weighs the same as well. So there's actually no use for me putting in those things. You would think that would weigh considerably less than a full chunk of wood. Like a square meter of wood would definitely weigh more than one piece of 2x4, but whatever. We're gonna build it across like this because it's all gonna be the same. I'm just gonna build the outskirts of it first. In fact, what does glass cost me? How expensive in terms of weight is glass? Suddenly, the engineer in me is trying to do all the equations, trying to figure out, you know, what the best building material is going to be. This is not something I expected to have to think about in 7 days. Still weighs 5, still a complete waste of time. Fuck it, we're building out of wood. Turning on the stability for the last little bit because it's getting pretty tight. However, because I put those structural braces inside the windows, that's actually way more secure now than it was previously. I really thought that was going to be a whole lot worse, but it turns out it's actually really good. Alright, cool. I am happy with that. So now, inside here, we actually have enough room to swing several cats without touching any of the walls, and we will be A-okay. And now I'm going back to thinking about maybe if I build a pedestal up there, like build my base up in a room up on the top here, that'll be easier to defend. But I think that might be a little bit silly. I think I'm just asking too much. What I'm kind of thinking with this base as well is maybe like you use something like that over there. Maybe you use the force field base as your actual horde base. You know, like once again, building two separate bases, because something like this is like tailor-made for just killing the zombies as they come to you. But something like this will be secure from wandering hordes and things like that. So if something comes up to you unexpectedly, they're not going to path in and break down your base and ruin all your valuables. You're protected from something like that, because a wandering dog horde, or like a feral dog horde showing up when you really don't want it to, is really, really bad for both you and your butthole's health, because you're going to get several teeth inserted into you and going to spurt out blood every which way. So rather than doing that, you can build something like this, protect all your gubbins inside here, and not really have to worry about it. And that seems like a really good idea to me. There we go. We've got some doors in. I've made it all nice and symmetrical because obviously I always will. I'm kind of tempted to put some doors in here as well. This isn't a big base. It's very tight. It's very cozy, but it should be enough in here to kind of do whatever you need to do in regards to actually surviving. It's nice and safe, nice and secure. Let's grab those torches instead. Put all you guys up out of my hotbar and put some torches in on either side of the doors like that and like that. Although I did just kind of think, how much does a torch weigh? Does it actually have a weight cost? I don't know. Actually, maybe I need to check the wall torches in here. Wall torch. What do you have? Wall torch. Massive 5. Okay, interesting. So important to note, even though the torch in your hand, it doesn't show any sort of weight measurement to it, they do have a weight on the walls. We're going to take you guys up again, because having an eccentric amount of torches seems like a bad idea. And put one above the door there, one above the door there. That should be enough to light the room rather nicely. It is. In fact, you know what? Let's go back to nighttime and just see what it looks like in the middle of the night. Looks nice and good, nice and warm amber glow coming from in there. We're going to need some torches on the outside as well, but rather than add to the weight of it, I think instead a better option will be SCTR is what I want. So the wood poles like that, and we're just going to get a couple of you and put you around the outside, although it's not going to be centered. Ah, that's annoying. I really wanted to just bang some torches down. In fact, just like that. Fuck it. Why not? They're not attached to anything, but who cares about physics anyway? This is 7 Days to Die, and physics doesn't apply. Just checking the weights of the ladders. They're all 20s, but a wooden ladder is 5. So really, I'm going to be building most of this base out of wood. What's my structural integrity like now? So stability. I mean, you're all pretty okay. That's the good thing about it. Like, basically always measuring from horizontal stability. Like, even though I'm putting some more weight in the same spots, they're the same kind of they're the same weight deficit of the blocks underneath. So anything in this kind of rung all has the same kind of characteristics. Now I can get up onto the roof. Let's get myself a nice wood hatch, which weighs 5. Always check the weights before you start banging shit down. Get you and turn off stability so I can actually see, because I need to place you the right way so when you climb up, you don't bonk your head on the hinge of the hatch. Get up the top, and we're all happy as Larry. Put some more torches down. So then when the horde does roll in, if you do need to defend and you don't have it, like don't trust yourself to get out there with melee, you can come up to the roof and start shooting some Jeffries. It's all nice and bright, all nice and high visibility. You can shoot them all from the safety of your roof without having to worry about much at all. It wouldn't be my base without some black and purple to show off, would it? I was going to do one little line of black rounding outside. I really wish there was like a black concrete paint. I mean, not this shiny granite shit. I want it to be that matte finish, the same as what the purple is, but black. There used to be one, and now they took it out for 17. Hopefully it comes back in 18. But I've got some nice black and purple going on in here, because then, once you've got that going, let's start putting down some of the extra stuff that you do need inside your base to make sure that is all gonna fit. Workbench goes in front of the window. We're gonna need a couple of forges. Yep, take 2 of those, put one in here, get rid of you, put one in there, forge there, and forge there. How is that affecting my stability? No, we're all still good. We're all still lovely-dovely. You can see on the roof it's looking a little bit unsymmetrical now. That nice kind of onion pattern or ogre pattern has gone, and now it's like a nice little helipad up there. But that's okay. We're still okay. The whole place is still standing. We're looking alright. We're going to need some chests, because every growing boy, every growing survivor needs his chest to store all his lovely loot in. All the way... Oh, that was a shit placement. All the way along there. All our chests. Nice and easy. We're looking good. It's all coming together, and nothing's broken yet. We gave the interior the paint work over, so now we just need to do the outside as well. And I really quite like the theme that we've got going from that one over there. Just that red line around the outside seems like a really good idea. So I'm going to continue painting just like that. The main important parts, the thick outer iron blocks, and then the first layer of arrow slots are the all important parts. I'm going to paint them nice and red. We still need to put some barbed wire down, but once that's done, this base will be complete and it will stand up to the test because we've been testing it all the way through. You don't have to test it again once you get to the end of it, because you know that the foundation theories of this all work out well. We'll still test it anyway, just in case having this hut in the middle of something that already works suddenly breaks everything. You never quite know for sure, but I'm pretty goddamn confident I would happily live in this in any of my survival playthroughs. Once again, as always, make sure that the barbed wire, you can see the outline of the block that it's going to actually take effect on. You don't have to have the zombies run into it, just be in the same block as the barbed wire and you'll get that slowdown effect. So make sure when you're placing it down, you're paying attention to what block is being affected by it, so you can get as much effect as possible without the zombies doing any damage to your barbed wire at all. That is the all important aspect of placing barbed wire down. If you don't do that, then you're just wasting materials, having to repair shit and rebuild your barbed wire and stuff like that. Much better to do it this way, because you'll get more of an effect all of the time. In fact, I just put that down there. Let's go like that. You know, I'm pretty confident of everything working, and the barbed wire is only there just to kind of make it easier to punch the zombies in the face or shoot them, whichever you may prefer. So if I leave a gap in front of my door, then that means that I don't have to have any sort of active defenses. I can just run down here, run straight into my doorway like that. Ow, I still ran into the barbed wire a little bit, but I can get in and out without having to like open anything, close anything. Apparently the barbed wire is getting real like vicious on what, come on. I'm not even touching the barbed wire there. Okay, I see what you're trying to do there. You're trying to fuck me with my own barbed wire. Well, how about that? Is that a bit better? There we go. In and out without even a problem at all. In fact, I think... I thought for a second there that maybe my camera wasn't actually centered on my person. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not. Interesting. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's put that barbed wire back down. Because, yeah, I think where my character was, where my camera was showing, was a little bit disjointed. Yeah, see? Okay, interesting. Right, well, one space of barbed wire should be enough. My game's a little bit broken right now, it seems, and I'm having an out-of-body experience even when I don't want it. But yeah, so if I don't have the barbed wire there, I can get in and out without having to have any sort of hassles. Nice and easy, just like that. That's good. The defense mechanism here is the zombies' brains themselves, rather than anything in the game I'm putting down. There we go. I managed to fix my camera, and sure enough, the one block gap definitely works. Easy as that. In fact, where's my... Do I still have my poles? Let's grab you. In fact, your center poles. I don't need you. I need regular poles. Pole, wood pole. There we go. Grab you. Let's put you just on the back side here, because then it's nice and easy to see where the entryway is. You know, like the zombies won't pay attention to that. That's just for me. So from a distance, I can see, you know what? That's where I need to run in. That's my entryway. Straight into my base. No worries at all. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Put you there as well. And just because I like the aesthetic, let's put some poles in the corner. So something's actually holding up the barbed wire, you know? It looks better when it seems physically possible. So once again, I haven't built this base explicitly to take on a horde night horde of zombies. It's more to defend against your wandering hordes, your screamer hordes, protect all your valuable stuff inside your base from the accidental random show up of a bunch of zombies that you don't particularly want to take on. And it's defended by the zombies themselves, which is very, very nice. I would always much rather have like a standalone horde base like this one over here to take on the horde, but it wouldn't be a Jaboodle video unless I gave it a red hot crack and tested it to see what the upper limits of what it can handle is. So I'm going to stand myself up on top of the roof up here and see how I go defending it. I've got the barbed wire down there. I can easily just drop off down here. Got a nice open area to fall down here and like a little walkway around the outside there as well. As a base in itself, I actually really like it. I really like how it's come together. I'm pretty hopeful that it might actually stand up to the test of a day 49 horde. Once again, not a super high level on this character, so it won't be, you know, a ridiculously hard horde. I'd be surprised if any rads showed up, but if they do, I am ready to take them down with nothing but a sledgy and a shotgun. Come at me, you zombified bastards. Come and try and pick holes in me brand new arrow slotted moated base. I have, what am I trying to say? I have arrow slots as a moat. That's what I'm trying to say. Where are yous? Oh, here they come. Look at them. Just trundling in. Easy as you like. They're already running around the outside. Around the outside. You are all trailer park girls, and you've got nothing. You got nothing, do you? I'm going to stand right here. I'm back against the wall, and just slot my sledgehammer into all of your gaping mouths. There's one. Thank you for dropping the loot over the fence for me. They are going to be doing some damage to the barbed wire right now because they are actually touching it, which is a little bit of a problem. That's not so bad. Not so bad in the scheme of things. You've somehow made it through, because even if they do like get across it, they then freak out by being on top of the arrow slots and run back the other way. In fact, I really think the only way that they touched the arrows, the barbed wire at all there is because they were standing on top of each other. Oh, you broke one. Okay, interesting. Let's move around this side and just see what happens over here. You gotta follow me. You gotta stay inside. What's the go? Yeah, look, they just don't know what to do. Because you have solid ground to run on, they are trying to think their way through it. They're not doing a very good job of it. This isn't working as well as the Horde field base. Again, like I said before, you'd want to have that one as a standalone base for the Horde Night. But I think it's because we're standing so close to them as well. If I got my back against the wall here, if I had an extra couple of layers of arrow slots on the outside, I'm sure it would be nice and easy. But I'm not really breaking a sweat here, and I'm just carving my way through all this zombie horde like a hot butter knife through a jar of Vegemite. Easy as you like, no worries at all, mate. I think the best option here is just to keep on kind of moving around. Look at them. They can't get to me. They're continuing to try to run around to try and get a better arc at me. But if I just keep moving around the base itself, then they're never going to actually catch up to me. I can't quite reach from here, so get off my bloody fence. Dude, off my fence. This is not your house. Get off my freaking lawn. Look, everyone, hey, look, come over here. I'm over here now. You going to come join me? I see a couple of you are, but I need to clear up some space for you guys to move. Shotguns out, ladies and gentlemen. Pick them apart with nothing but the shoddy. The shoddy rules all. If nothing else, if in doubt, whip out the shoddy and shoot them all in the gob. So I think if I had my time again, I would build another layer of maybe arrow slits, or even just maybe solid blocks between this kind of outer area here and the barbed wire fence, because I think I'm just too close. I think I'm getting too close, and which is giving him hope of actually making contact with my jaw and trying to bring my innards onto my outwards. Can I just keep killing, please? There we go. So it's still working pretty well. Like, as a horde base, like, I mean, all they've done is broken a couple of layers of barbed wire. Not a lot whatsoever. And I've done nothing but put a couple of shotgun shells down range and split their heads open with my trusty sledge. So, like, it's really working really well. Not quite as perfect as I said before, but still definitely a viable option. There is the morning chime. Oh, look, a dog finally showed up. Took you a while to show up, puppy. But that's all right. There's still a bunch out there. In fact, if you ran straight, they're kind of getting pushed, aren't they? They're getting pushed into the barbed wire as opposed to actually trying to path across it, because I'm so bloody close. But as soon as, look, I take a step back and they realize they can't get through over there, so they run around to the side. As soon as I'm like more than, what, 1, 2, I'm still 3 blocks back, then they can't reach me anymore and they choose a different plan of attack. Can you stop bobbling around so I can actually explode your head like all the ones who came before? But yeah, it's definitely passed the test as a horde base. Repair-wise, not much to do at all. Are you dead, actually? Is everyone dead now? Quickly run around the outside. Around the outside, I can hear one more. Oh, there's a couple more out there. Okay, well, I don't have time for you guys to kill all. Kill all. So what is the damage? What have they done? Let's grab my hammer and just see. I assume there's going to be some damage to most of the barbed wire around. Not much, though. Not a lot to be really worried about. Just here and there, a couple of little dints. A couple of little barbed wires have been blunted. But definitely not enough for me to think that that wouldn't work well in the long run. In the scheme of things, definitely stood up to it. Well, there you go. Stood up to the challenge and got through the Horde Night with very little sweat whatsoever. So I can now stand out here all triumphant like with my wonderful purple sledgy, looking over my wonderful base and all the other things that I have made in Jawoodle Park. I'm upset that I didn't figure out this arrow slot gimmick beforehand. I mean, Alpha 17 is almost done. Alpha 18 is on its way, probably at some point, maybe this year? I don't know, who knows? So the alphas always come out whenever they just come out. You never know. Then it's like one day they'll just be like, oh, by the way, it comes out on Monday. And you're like, oh my god, I really need to get my shit sorted and ready for that. But for Alpha 17, the arrow slots work an absolute treat. And I know that now that I've made these videos, people will start using it and they'll probably patch it out for Alpha 18, but enjoy it while it lasts. And I'll have to come back and continue to break some more zombie AI in Alpha 17, 7 Days to Die in another episode, because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. Most of all, thank you to all the patrons of Patreon who made this episode possible. If y'all like, make sure the like button down below and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Twitter. If I don't talk to you there first, I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.